Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis. This is for trading on June the 9th, 2021. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar first. So in terms of the news, we saw data, negative data come out for the Eurozone. And as a result of that, we did see Euro go down. And then coming up on Wednesday here, we have Bank of Canada rate statement here. So they're not looking to raise rates here, but Bank of Canada basically pulled the date forward when they were going to, initially they had said they were not going to raise rates till 2023. And now they have said in the previous statements, they have said that they're going to raise rates in 2022. So they pulled the guidance forward. So if they continue talking about raising rates, or they talk about monetary policy, tightening the monetary policy, all of those things will be positive for the currency, and we're likely to see Canadian dollar do well under those circumstances. So at this point, not expecting an interest rate hike, but it's just the forward guidance that can drive the markets. And then we also have crude oil inventories. If there is a draw, that will be positive for oil, and that should have a positive impact on Canadian dollar as well. Other than that, we have bond auction, but not a ton of news coming up here on Wednesday. All right, let's go to our charts here. We'll start off with euro dollar. So euro wasn't able to go through the resistance. It was into support resistance level, and as we saw, prices turn around. So I'm looking for a follow through here. Basically looking for a move lower here. So in this case, bias is to the downside. First target would be 1.2145 level. And this level is an important support resistance level. As we can see all the way here, price has reacted at this level multiple times. So here we are again. It could go sideways here, so watch out for that. But once it gets through here, next target is 1.2100. So bias here is bearish for euro dollar. Pound dollar here, this one still sideways here, hasn't really done a whole lot. It's been stuck in this range for a number of weeks now. At this point, we saw price just go back and forth. I'm just expecting a sideways move here, neutral bias. We may see something like this. So bias is neutral, just expecting sideways move between 1.4220, 1.4070. So there's no clear direction for pound dollar yet. Aussie here. Aussie is reacting at the resistance level here. So we have a small candle close, nothing to really get too excited about here. Bias is neutral to slightly bearish. This is just going sideways without any kind of clear trend at the moment. We may see a drop back down here, but keep in mind the support level is right there at 0.7700 level. So at this point, neutral bias for New Zealand dollar may be slightly bearish into 0.7700 and potentially into 0.7675. So neutral to slightly bearish bias for Aussie dollar. New Zealand dollar here, this one looks better in terms of a setup than the Australian dollar did. So we do have a bearish engulfing candle close, which means there is more of a momentum to the downside than Australian dollar. So bearish bias here, in this case, looking for a drop back down. First target is 0.7150 back into the support level. And then we will look for a further drop if it manages to go through this. So bearish bias for New Zealand dollar, 0.7150, and then 0.7120 is the second target. Dollar CAD here, this seems to be rounding off now. It has struggled here for a number of weeks. So now we may see that move to the upside here. at this point looking for a retest. So with the Canadian dollar, the only concern here would be Bank of Canada, which can really, depending on what they say, it can push things around. So that would be the concern. But right now, based on just the setup here, just the technicals, looking for a retest of 1.2150, and then we may see it drop. But if it breaks, then we will see that move all the way to the upside. However, it's been stuck in a range right now. It's rounding off, which generally is an indication that it wants to go higher. But again, two things to keep in mind. One is the resistance level at 1.2150. The other one is Bank of Canada statement, and Bank of Canada statement is more important. And this is where things could change. So right now, neutral to bullish bias, but again, with the keep in mind the Bank of Canada. Okay, let's take a look at our commodities. Silver struggling here. It couldn't get through this support resistance level. Here we are, prices reacted at this level several times before. Now we do have a nice bearish engulfing candle, which means we could see a drop here. Now, keep in mind, we have support right there. So it's still stuck in a range here. In this case, the first target is 27.35 level. If it gets through that, then 27.00. So our bias here is bearish for silver. Gold here, gold as well. It got stuck into the resistance level here. And we have a bearish candle close. So I'm looking for a retest again of yesterday's low at 1880 is the first target, but then I would be careful with this one. Twice price has rejected that level, but should it go through, next target after that, we are looking at 1871 or 1870 level. So bias is bearish here for gold as well. Oil here, oil came into support and then bounced off. With this here, we could see a further move towards 71. So target is 71.00. As long as it holds above this previous support resistance level, the swing level here, as it continues to hold, then we are basically, it still stays bullish. And we will look for a retest again. So something like this. Is what I would expect. So bullish bias here for oil. Now we do have oil inventories coming out. So if there's a big buildup, that will have a negative impact on the price of oil. So just bear that in mind. Copper here, copper didn't quite touch the support, but it retested the low of the day. And now we have a bullish pin bar here. So looking for price to move higher towards 4.53. So bullish bias here for copper. Bitcoin here. Bitcoin, we had talked about how if it goes through the support, it was pushing into it. So we got that drop. Now it did bounce off of that, but I think it has that negative or bearish momentum in it. So I'm looking for retest of this 31,000 level. So if it doesn't go through, then we are back again. But once it pushes through, basically we could continue even lower and all this room opens up here. This previous move opens up. It won't drop all at once, but it can. So over the next few months or a few weeks. So right now, bias is bearish, target is 31,000. And once it goes through that, then we will look for continuation lower. But if it gets stuck here and doesn't go through the support, then we could start seeing some bullishness coming in. But right now, the downward pressure is still there. So bearish bias target is 31,000, then 29,850 is the second target. S&P 500 not moving much at all here. 2 days in a row, price has been neutral. It's still holding here. So we could get a move back towards 41.65, but bias is neutral. It doesn't have any direction right now. NASDAQ here, NASDAQ did try to go through, but failed. And now we have a neutral candle, which means it could turn around. And we're likely to see a drop here. So neutral bias. Target is, first target would be 13,730 and then 13,680. So bearish neutral to bearish bias here for NASDAQ. Dow Jones here, completely dead here, not much of a move over the last few days. It hasn't really done a whole lot. So looking for price to maybe retest low, but basically it's range bound at this point. So still sitting in the range. I'm expecting a move between 34,800 and 34,200. So neutral bias for Dow Jones. DAX here, DAX also stuck sideways. It is holding the highs, but it's struggling right now. It's just holding here. So no real bullish bullish candle close yet. It's just very, very small candles, which doesn't show a lot of momentum. So for this one, we have to wait, looking for a bit of a drop here. First towards 15,570, 575. If it manages to get through that, then we're looking at 15,350. So not looking for a big move, just a small follow through here. So bias here is neutral for DAX as well. Footsie as well, not doing much. It's stuck. With this one, looking for a retest of the high at 71.20 and then a potential drop back down. But over the last several days, it's been in this very narrow range, and I'm expecting it to stay there for now. So neutral bias 70.20 is the target. Nikkei here, as discussed yesterday, came into resistance, did a retest and dropped. Again, not a big candle, so no true trend here at this point. But looking for a bit more of a drop here, potentially towards 28,500. First target though is 28,750 and then 28,500. So neutral to slightly bearish bias for Nikkei. All right, so that's it for today. You guys have a wonderful trading day, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.